I'm Vanessa Eccles. Welcome to the Do Good Challenge. So, who's doing good? I want you to meet JoJo O'Neal from a group called Let's Kick Asthma. JoJo, thanks for joining us. Okay, this is an interesting title.
Yeah.
What is Let's Kick Asthma all about?
Let's Kick Asthma. It's all about educating people about the effects of asthma. Those who have it, those who want to learn more about it so that they can help those who have it. But a lot of times asthma is one of those words that we've all heard about, but we're not real familiar with exactly what it is. Even after I myself was diagnosed, I really had little knowledge as to what it entailed. And so I struggled with the symptoms. And so this organization is one that's set up to help people learn how to live better with it, to control those symptoms, to educate ourselves about the devices that we need, and just really learn what this is and how we can beat it or kick the symptoms, if you will.
You talked about this a little bit. How did this organization come about? It's because of your personal experience with asthma.
Absolutely. My diagnosis came as an adult back in 2004, and me being stubborn, I'm very active. I love to dance and twirl and ride motorcycles and just be very active. I love to work out. I'm a fitness chick, you know, and I was just determined to not let asthma get in the way of all the things that I enjoyed doing. And so I began to ask questions and visit different doctors and types of doctors, and then formed a support group. You know, let's get together and learn from each other as patients and find out what this is and see what I can do to live just a normal life.
A lot of people don't understand that asthma is a serious disease. We often treat it as, oh, she just has asthma.
I tell people I'm addicted to breathing. I don't know about you, but
That's a good way to put it.
Try not breathing for a while and see what happens. And what we do sometimes, we call it the straw challenge for those who've never had to struggle for a breath a day in their lives. We'll take a little cocktail straw and we'll say, okay, you take this, hold your nose, breathe through this straw in your mouth for 15 seconds. Most people don't make it 15 seconds. They take the straw away and they gasp for air. But for us, there's no out. We can't pull the straw away and get the air that we need. And so we have to figure out the types of medication, the types of treatment, the types of asthma, so many different types of asthma. And they're not all necessarily treated the same, or at least shouldn't be. And the medical community is really gone a long way in finding out what types of treatment works for what type of asthma. So targeted therapies is a big initiative nowadays in the medical community too. I'm grateful.
Why did you think that people in the community needed an organization solely focused on asthma?
Simply, basically because of what you said before. It's kind of taken for granted, if you will. Oh, it's asthma. I don't know too many people who've not heard of that word, but really don't know how serious it can be. And yeah, people die from asthma. When you cannot breathe, you do not live.
That's pretty simple.
That's it. And so I just want to bring about a greater awareness of how serious it is. And each time you go through an asthma episode, it damages your lungs. And it comes a time where if you continue to do that, your lungs will not be able to bounce back to where they once were. And so I just want people to understand how serious it is. But at the same time, and on the flip side of that, know what you can do to make sure that you are living a perfectly normal and healthy life. A lot of people suffer with asthma. I see them, and asthma really kind of limits what they can do. It controls their lives. Oh, well, I can't do that because of asthma. I myself used to, back in the day, come across, if I was walking and see a staircase, and I'd be like, oh, I got to do that. I can't live like that, and I don't want other people to live like that either. I don't want them to miss out on anything they want to do in life because of asthma. We want to be in control of the symptoms instead of allowing the symptoms to be in control of us.
So what was the reaction you got in the community when you told people, I want to start this group and we're focusing on asthma? Were they like, why would you want to do that?
It was a really big reaction because the conversation initially began when I was hospitalized during one of my many extended hospital visits. It began in 2012, and people were reaching out saying, hey, I know someone who has asthma, or I have asthma, and through calls, text messages, emails, people, and I'm going, all these people with asthma, how come we don't know more about it? And so I vowed then, as I was responding to the people reaching out to me, I said, when I get out of the hospital, let's all get together. So we have this in common. Let's all get together and talk about it, find out what's going on with it. And that's how the support groups came around. And so we have a support group meeting every month, but it's an educational support group meeting. So we bring in guest speakers and we talk about different topics as they relate to asthma. And so it was a really good response because asthma has affected many more people than we realize. At last count, I believe it was at least 25 million people nationwide who've been diagnosed with asthma. That I don't even think counts the people who have it and don't even know it, have not been diagnosed.
And you do more than just the education part of it. You have a little fun too. You had a recent event. Tell me about it.
Our gala, the Let's Kick Asthma Educational Benefit Gala, and we had a wonderful talent showcase and just a wonderful time of food and fellowship and fun, but it was all because we need funding, you know, so it was a fundraiser because we want to really kind of focus on the cause itself and how serious it can be. And so that people can become more aware and not just kind of say, oh, it was just their asthma. Oh, they can't be here. Oh, they were just having trouble with their asthma. Like you said, they kind of, I don't want to say trivialize it, but sometimes they do, yeah. And so we want to really bring about the seriousness of it so that people will understand, listen, people are dying from asthma. And every time, like I said, I hear that, it breaks my heart because most times I'm thinking, I wonder if there was something that could have been done, you know, more education about let's get to the doctor quicker, or we can't treat this on our own at home. Let's seek medical attention. Let's find out what we can do to get ahead of those symptoms, to keep them from happening, you know. So just a lot of different angles to it, but that's our focus, just making sure that people can live and breathe better.
So with the Do Good Challenge, we talk about time, talent, and treasure. So how can people help you in terms of their time and volunteering?
Volunteers, I had a wonderful group of volunteers for the gala. They were there, they made everything go so smoothly that I had no idea if there were any issues or problems behind the scenes. They didn't let me know. It all looked so beautiful. And so yeah, volunteering there. Also, we do outreach services in addition to the support groups every month. And so whatever an asthma patient needs, when you're having trouble breathing, it takes your energy. And so there are times when I myself would be away from work and I would be sitting at home struggling to breathe and thinking, I'm home, I can be doing something, I could be vacuuming, or even if I wanted to walk out to the mailbox or something, I didn't really have the energy to do the things I wanted to do even when I had the time to do them because I was just, my breathing was compromised. And so we want to be able to go into the home if someone needs their home cleaned, you know, they don't have the energy to do that. Listen, we want to go and help them do what they need, running errands or even paying for medications, which are very costly, those breathing medications and those treatments. And so we do outreach services as well. So people can volunteer to help us with that. You know, some people who have businesses, for example, we have one lady who has a cleaning service. She says, well, I want to volunteer to do the cleaning for those asthma patients who need that service, you know. So we welcome all volunteers, whatever your talents are.
And so what about talent in particular? Because I'm sure you would like doctors to get involved or medical professionals.
Absolutely. We have a relationship with some doctors already. We actually have one doctor who's on our board of directors, Dr. Faki, who's there from the very beginning. But we definitely welcome the medical community because we tell people, we definitely make sure that they know that we are not a medical organization. Any information that you get from us is, please, we don't offer medical services or treatments, but we are a resource. And so that means we want to be more connected to the medical community so that we can give those answers that they have. We have doctors who come out and make the presentations during the educational support group meetings, respiratory therapists, nurses. That is so important. Yeah, so we definitely welcome anyone from the medical community to come out and support our groups.
And lastly, treasure. I'm sure you welcome financial donations as well.
Yes, we do. Let's Kick Asthma Foundation, I call it my baby, and so first and foremost, it's from my pocket, but it's growing to the point where I can no longer handle it myself financially. I more than was happy to invest in this because it's my passion project. And so now it's one of the reasons for the gala. That was our first one back in August. So we now have to reach out to the community to help us in our efforts. We want to be able to bless an asthma patient, and hopefully more than one, on a regular basis with whatever it is that they need as it relates to asthma. Like I said, whether it's paying for medications or cleaning a house or running errands or whatever asthma has done to debilitate them. We want to kind of help them to overcome that. And so that's going to take, funding.
JoJo O'Neal, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you, Vanessa.
And thank you for joining us as well for this episode of the Do Good Challenge. If you'd like to contact Let's Kick Asthma and volunteer your time, talent, or treasure, here's how. And if you have an organization you'd like to nominate for the Do Good Challenge, just feel free to email us. I'm your host, Vanessa Eccles. Do good.